What an absolute thriller we had in Lahore, I must tell you. Some of the games in the Champions Trophy we witnessed were one sided, but this one, by any means, was not a one sided one. It was an edge of the seat thriller. It went down to the final over, and I think the deserved team won that. And I have welcome here Sandy Paji, Deepu, Madhur. Welcome to the show, all three of you. I have to ask Sandy Paji, there's a reason why I invited you here for this show for a cameo, to be honest. Is that what happened with England? You said, I would rather say you nailed the preview yesterday. We rather did all together, saying that the toss will play in both the teams' hand. England wanted to bowl, in Afghanistan wanted to bat. We knew what would the toss result be. Afghanistan got 300 plus, and that's where the game started, actually, in the halfway stage of the game. England were cruising to the chase, and then what happened? What happened after George Butler got out?
This is the problem. This is the problem. The pressure of the game, and then the Afghanistan bowling came good. They had something to defend, and they just let England let too much runs go at the end. In the last 3 or 4 overs, other bar the last over of the Afghanistan batting, Nabi and Zadran, they were just like hitting, 20. I think there's 23 of one over that they hit, and that was the difference. England were up against the right all the time, but they just did not have that acceleration. They lost all the wickets, and as soon as Butler had gone, then you thought, okay, if Butler had stayed in for maybe another 3 or 4 overs, they would have been fine. But then, yeah, you just have to rely on your bowling all rounders, and that's something that you can't do at this level. And hats off, credit to Afghanistan. We said 300 is that magic number for them. Anything below that, they would have definitely lost the game. But England let them off the look, and if you take that 23 runs off that over,
Mhm.
England would have probably ended up winning. Yeah.
England were probably there, and as I said yesterday as well, Mark Wood and Jofra Archer are the main spearheads. After that, there's nobody apart from Adil Rashid and Deepu. Once again, England struggled to get wickets in the middle overs. They allowed partnerships to be built up. It was Shahidi, then Nabi, and then that marathon knock from Ibrahim Zadran. Afghanistan, anytime they surpass 300, and they are there in the game. And despite there being due, I think they were marginal due a little bit, not much, that played in the hands of Afghanistan. But Joe Root scoring 100 in one-day internationals after 2019. Did that surprise you?
Not really, to be honest, given that they haven't played much ODI cricket, barring that World Cup, which was a disaster campaign for this English side. And yes, they have been, there hasn't been much ODI cricket, not for just England, but all over as well. And quite a sad state, to be honest, for international cricket. So not really surprising, but still, after 5 years, he looked the old route that we used to see,
Mhm.
churning out
Correct.
runs for fun. And yes, unfortunately, got out as what Sandy Paji said, and that was a turning point of the game. If not for Jamie Overton's cameo, they couldn't have reached even 250, 260 odd. So yeah, he played really well, but unfortunately, it was not his day in the end.
Absolutely. It was not his day. He got out in the very wrong time for England because the onus was on his shoulders to take England to over the line and probably save their season. But Madhur, welcome to the show for the very first time in the Champions Trophy season. But this is where I was very surprised. But in the presentation, he was directly asked by the England commentators on Josh Butler's captaincy, and that's where everyone, whoever I've asked in Champions Trophy, said, including Sandy Paji himself for the England preview, said no baseball in the semi-finals, and rightly so. England have been knocked out in the group stages, and Jihan, along with the others, said that the captaincy was not good enough from Josh Butler. Talk us through the captaincy of Josh Butler in this tournament and also in the ODI series versus India.
Yeah, see, I think that talking about the ODI series, or see the problem, the mistake they are doing in this Champions Trophy, the same mistake they have done in the last World Cup again at in India, the 2023 ODI World Cup. Same captain, Josh Butler was the captain for that tournament and for this. And looking about, see, talking about the low quality team like Afghanistan, you have to win, because if you are playing this game, you keep in mind that uh, this is very small team, we have to win against that.
Mhm.
This makes a pressure, because you go to win to like this small team with
No,
this.
everyone goes to win, rather, I would say, but you cannot take Afghanistan as a small team anymore. But Josh Butler's batting position needs to be looked into account for Sandy
Yeah,
Paji, because it was just Joe Root's 120 that was the only standout innings in the England side. They are
Yes,
somehow overlooking the performances of Liam Livingston as well, just because he gives you that bowling option. Because I don't think so.
yeah.
He deserves a spot in the 11 as well.
Yes, big problem. This was the we said it yesterday. Why is Jamie Smith batting at three? So they could have probably got another all rounder in, a batting all rounder, and I think they really wanted Jacob Bethel to come into the team, and he would have given the bowling option at the spin if they needed. And again, he can bat, he can pace his innings really well. I've seen a lot of Jacob Bethel, and Jamie Smith had no form, no pedigree, and they put him at three. He got out quickly. That meant Josh Butler was coming in earlier anyway. So they really lost a player there. And again, this is the problem. They don't have, consistency in that batting lineup. It can be explosive or it can be quite, average. And Brook, see, Brook is against spin. You know what's going to happen. He's going to hold out to spin. Teams know that. And again, we have to really praise Afghanistan. We said
Yeah,
one
yeah,
of the top.
true that. But I would like request you to continue with this question. Says that England's bowling has been one dimension, lack of variety, and especially as I said in the middle overs. Has Moeen Ali been the difference in this side because he could give you a lot of overs?
Yes, and the left hand batting as well, which would have been another variation for them. But we said yesterday, why Jamie Smith when you could play Rian Ahmed would have given you that bit of control, extra control. But again, we can't take anything away. We know this Afghanistan team is very good. When Goberdin came on, I thought, okay, this is a player that England might hit out of the park. He takes a wicket in his first over. So again, Omar Zai looks really good. Faruqi looked injured in and out as well.
Yeah.
Wood
But
losing Wood.
despite injuries, the players showed so much determination and so much passion for the country. They badly wanted to win, and they did it twice in a row versus England in one day internationals. Afghanistan defeated in ICC ODI events. But Madhu, there's a question for you coming from Gian. Says that according to you, what is the main concern for England? Is it the captaincy? Is it the middle order batting, or is it leaking too many runs especially in the death overs?
The batting,
uh,
everything's the problem. The captain, I think, Josh Butler will now retire. He's retired from Test cricket. He'll retire from ODIs. He'll play franchise cricket from now on. Bowling wise, they don't have the variety there for the 50 over game, and the batting it really needs to look at. They need to have a mix of T20 and a bit of Test cricket. They need some patience around Joe Root. How long will this Joe Root golden patch run? Because if he doesn't perform, that's another problem for England. So
True that,
I
but
really
I would
think,
just request. Sorry to interrupt, Paji, but I would just request Madhur if he can give any input because the question was for him.
okay,
I think the main concern is to choosing the wrong team, because I think that maybe they can the team they have chosen. Not many players are play like explosive, and you
Okay.
know that Pakistan is a flat track. That's why the C team of Australia chased 356 against them, and
Yeah, they
that
did that
bowling.
because you can give credit to Australia, but at this moment we're talking
Yes,
about England. I think England still have a lot of firepower in their game. But what went wrong? I think I agree to what Sandy Paji said. It's one dimensional. Not players are not living up to the expectations. Deepu has a point to mention. Yes, over to you, Deepu.
I think this is an aging side, to be honest, with most of these guys, or on the other end of the 30s, and with Wood is also, I think, touching 35, if I'm not wrong, Paji here. I think they just need some new faces in that England lineup, and possibly they are missing a left arm seamer. I haven't seen anyone since Sam Curran's
Exactly.
presence at the side, and that variety is definitely not there. And obviously what Moen did for these guys all these years. It's been missing, so it's time. I think a guy like Dan Lawrence can be a great option at three, given that he can bowl some off spin too. I think
Yeah, that's a very
they
good
need some
option. But
they need
if
some
you can pick
guys.
somebody like a Jamie Smith into the side, you can definitely go look for options like Dan Lawrence that
Yeah.
Deepu mentioned. But England are knocked out. That's the end of the story. Yeah, they will play a consolation game in the final one. But this is how it looks. Australia, Afghanistan becomes a thriller, and now South Africa will wait if they see their opportunity lies if they directly qualify in that game. If Afghanistan wins or South Africa qualify, if Afghanistan loses, it's over to you, South Africa. But now, talking about this game, it's Pakistan versus Bangladesh. It's a dead rubber, I must tell you, Deepu, Madhur, and Paji. But what about the conditions? It's going to be played at the Rawalpindi. 13 games has been played here. 6 times the team batting first have been victorious. 7 times the team chasing. Both the teams have been knocked out. Both Asian sides, Paji. But your thoughts? What could be what Rizwan says? Ya to win hai, ya to learn hai. What could be the learn for Rizwan?
Again, this is where they've failed, haven't they? They've got to move on from their feared pace attack, which they'd really say a lot about in the media. Shaheen Shah, Afridi, Ralph, Naseem Shah, they've tried that. It hasn't worked. They haven't really got any quality spinners in their team, and the batting's hit and miss. So I think they're in a very similar position to England. They need reconstruction. Do they have the players? Do they have the players that can come in? I don't feel that. And I think this is where, teams like India and Australia will always have the strength because they're domestic teams in the ODI format. The 50 over format is there. England, nobody plays 50 over cricket anymore. Pakistan, there's no demand, there's no need for 50 over cricket. And we know 50 over cricket is different to T20 cricket. You can't just say,
Correct.
well, just double up. There's a different skill set. There's a different makeup of the team. I think Pakistan really need a reconstruction. But I think Bangladesh, they are playing at their maximum. Their bowling looks really good. They've got some good bowlers in like Rana.
Yeah,
Their batting,
absolutely.
yeah, the batting looks like it's improving as well. So I think Pakistan will have a lot of pressure in this game, and it'll be interesting to see if Bangladesh bat first, get the runs on the board, what Pakistan turns up because there's just no acceleration in this team, and I really fear
Absolutely.
that
And these two teams are facing each other for the first time in Champions Trophy, I must tell
wow.
you. But what about the players to watch out for Pakistan? Madhur, here are my 3 picks. I've gone with Babar Azam, Salman Ali Agha, and I've also gone with Shaheen Shah Afridi, the other 3 players to watch out for. आपके हिसाब से पाकिस्तान का ये 3 players इतना important है, कोई और है आपके हिसाब से जो पाकिस्तान के लिए कल मैच जितवा सकते हैं अपने घर में?
I think firstly, see, you have played against a big team, but now you have the chances कि आप एक छोटी टीम के सामने खेल रहे हैं. You are playing against a Bangladesh. But see, I think इस गेम में I don't see कि कोई अच्छा परफॉर्म करेगा. They will again go with like a टेस्ट इनिंग की 15 ओवर खेल लिए, 20 ओवर खेल लिए और अभी भी पिच चेक ही कर रहे हैं.
Mhm.
तो but talking about Bangladesh has upper hand, but maybe we can choose Rizwan who can bat good.
Rizwan is a good pick, I must say, but I would rather say no. You cannot say that anybody is a small team because Champions Trophy top 8 teams are making it to the group stages at playing it. So it's top 8 ranking sides. So that's no disrespect to the others. But Deepu, moving on to the players to watch out for Bangladesh, and here is what I've gone with. Tohid Rida played a wonderful knock in the first game versus India, battling with cramps but scored 100. Taskin Ahmed and Mustafiz Rahman are the other 2 seamers for Bangladesh. Here are my 3 players. Anything different from your end?
That's my norm, to be honest. Not agreeing with you, and it will continue here as well. So yeah, definitely I'll be going with Mahdi Miraz, given that what I expect from him as a player, he hasn't delivered it at all, and that's the reason these guys are languishing at the bottom. So definitely he is there. That's my first pick. I'll go rather with Nahid Rana, to be honest, because he
Oh
has
yes.
in that New Zealand game. These guys could have won that had they held on to their chances and could have been a little bit consistent. Maybe the Kiwis could have seen a loss against their name. So definitely Nahid Rana comes in, and from though I'll go with Shanto, to be honest. He played really well. So I'm looking, it's the captain who has to make the statement now. So hopefully he comes up well.
The captain has to step up for
Yeah.
the for his side 100%, and that's rightly mentioned. You have gone with three different picks, like
Yeah.
always. You go for against me. Three players to watch out for is done and dusted. What about the battles, Deepu? This is what I've got. You've said about the battles, and I have Nahid Rana into the side. He bowls that hard length deliveries and just might trouble somebody like Mohammad Rizwan. Babar versus off spin is always there on the cards, and even Shaheen Shafridi versus the new ball is always threatening. Any other battle you're looking forward to?
I'll be looking for maybe it's a good. I'll rather look for a Rishad versus Rizwan, to be honest. It's a slight bit odd, but still, I think that will make the game very exciting. And if you ask from this one, I think it's Mahdi versus Babar, because again that guy hasn't been scoring runs. All the noise is against him at the moment, and
Hmm?
I'm not looking at the things improving just yet. So yeah, these two will be the key battles. That will determine the result of this game.
Okay, that will surely determine the result of the game. And let me inform both of you, the weather for tomorrow's game is not pleasing. So it might
Yeah.
just be that Pakistan end up their campaign in the Champions Trophy, hosting it after 29, hosting an ICC event after 29 years, end up being winless in the tournament. It could be on
But
the
still,
cards.
they'll get a point. But still, they'll get a point.
That
A
they
one
might
point
just
for
get a
him.
point. They might just get 1 point on the points table. But what about the predicted playing 11? Starting with Pakistan, Madhur, here is the predicted playing 11 I've gone. I think it's the 11 is not the problem. It's the players not playing is where I think. So I was thinking of maybe having a Kamran Gulam into the side, maybe a Fahim Mushraf. But I've gone with the unchanged 11 which they played versus Pakistan. And I think it's going to be that. But maybe as per reports saying that Babar might be dropped from this game, I just hope it's not true because the stadium will be half empty. But there's a question for you. There were speculations on Mohammad Rizwan's captaincy. Talks are going on, just like Butler's. Jian asks you, according to you, if you're Pakistan selector, who would you make the captain and why?
I think choosing a captain for this Pakistan team, like रोहित शर्मा said, अगर मैं उनका कोच होता तो मैं जरूर बताता उनको कि कैसे खेलना है. But maybe, yeah, see, I don't know much about the players in the Pakistan team who lead as a captain. Babar lead this team. Rizwan is leading. Shine also lead it in some games. Maybe they can bring that test captain Shan Masood,
Shan
who is
Masood
really,
into
I
the
think.
side. You're saying Shan Masood could be part of the ODI sector and be leading the side. Deepu, over to you. Maybe something different from your end.
I'll rather go with Shaheen Shafridi. See,
Exactly. Yeah.
there is no current alternative as of now. Obviously, Shan could be an option, but that is a long thought process, to be honest. Given that these guys are
Exactly.
already losing big in the test format as well. So, for if you ask for the on interim basis, I think Shaheen is the best
Yeah,
option as
very
of
much
now.
because it's not about fixing the English presentation, the English speaking
Yeah,
English. We know Shan Masood speaks very good English. It's about playing cricket, and I
yeah,
think at that moment, if you need to pick from this side, I would have two picks. One is Salman
yeah.
Ali Agha, maybe, or it's Shaheen Shafridi. These two have to be my option.
Shine,
But
I think let Salman continue his good form. Just let not burden him at the moment. Let's Shine lead for an interim basis and groom Salman Ali Aga till
could
the
be.
time he gets that experience.
Could be, but here it was a thought process said that Usman Khan could be a possibility in the side. Imam Ulaq was brought into the replacement of Fakar Zaman. Now, as it's a dead rubber game, you might just give you opportunities. Usman Khan can be a possibility at up the order. I really like this opinion, to be honest. He can very much play tomorrow if we have any play. But what about the Bangladesh 11? The with an unchanged one, but I was very much tempting towards having someone like a Sakib into the pace department. Your thoughts on that, please?
Yeah, I had that same thought, but given that they'll have to drop Mustafizur, currently the only left arm seamer they have, I was surprised why Shoriful was not there. So yeah, definitely I'll be going with the same 11. Finally, we agree on something. To be honest, so yeah, so these guys played really well against the Kiwis, and they just almost did that victory. To be honest, they tried their best. So yeah, just stick to this 11, and hopefully they can get some better results in the next game.
Okay, so you're saying that maybe sticking to the same 11
Yeah.
and maybe just like Jian's wish was there, maybe end up Pakistan being winless in the tournament, being the host. What about the predictions? It's predictions time, both of you. Starting with you, Deepu, considering that we are having a full game in this one, what is your percentage?
I think Bangladesh have that slight bit of edge, to be honest. I'd rather go with 51, 49. For obvious reasons, the middle over that they play better than Pakistan, that middle over stage. So yeah, on that basis, I think they have a better chance of
And you can
winning at home.
continue with this question as well. Utsav comes up with asking the team which loses tomorrow is can you name it as the worst team of the tournament?
Obviously, it will be the worst team of the tournament. They'll just get lucky because they'll still be having a point if there is rain predicted. So yeah, they'll just be lucky to have a point against their name in an otherwise a disappointing campaign. And they fought for the rights for 2 years, survived in the tournament for just 5 days. So that's itself is an embarrassment. So yeah, definitely, it will be the worst team of the tournament.
Okay, so the Utsav says no Kudrat ka Nizam tomorrow. He's expecting, he wants both these teams to play, but maybe not as well. But Madhur, what about you? Deepu said 51-49 for Bangladesh. What is yours?
I think, see, you are hosting a ICC event for after 29 years, and in our last of our lives, if we see the points table of Group A and looking uh, Pakistan 3 games, 3 losses, I think most fascinating thing. So I'm going with the Bangladesh 60-40.
Bangladesh win 60-40 for Bangladesh. He won 3 wins, 3 losses for Bangladesh, for Pakistan being the host as well. Might be fulfilling the wishes for all the Indian fans as well. Thank you so much, Madhur. Thank you to Deepu as well for watch and for coming to the show. Thank you to all the viewers for watching this one. It's Pakistan versus Bangladesh, a dead rubber tomorrow. All to play for, playing for pride for both of them. Maybe rain interrupts in Pindi and plays spoil sport. Thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe to the Fifth Umpire. Press the bell icon as well. Thank you so much, and bye bye.